Warwick, the uncaged beast of Zaun, is an absolute menace on the Rift, capable of assassinating targets from a significant distance away or protecting fellow teammates with several forms of hard crowd control. Honestly, I can empathize with how terrible attack damage carry mains must feel these days. Not only are they left in the dust with no recent notable buffs, but Riot keeps releasing champions that counter their playstyle. However, as a fan of hard carry jungle champs, I couldn't be happier. Abilities: Passive, Internal Thirst. Warwick's basic attacks deal bonus damage, heal that damage when below 50% HP. Q, Jaws of the Beast. Warwick lunges forward and bites his target. Heal for some of that damage dealt. If the ability key is held down, Warwick will leap behind his target instead. W, Blood Hunt. Passive, enemy champions with less than half health leave behind a global blood trail and are blood hunted. Warwick has increased attack speed against blood hunted targets. Additionally, Warwick gets a significant movement speed boost when pointed towards that target. When activated, the nearest enemy champion becomes blood hunted, regardless of their HP percentage. E, Primal Howl. Warwick takes reduced damage for a short time. At the end of the duration, fear nearby enemies. R, Infinite Duress. Leap in a direction and suppress the first champion hit while dealing damage. Heal for all damage dealt, and apply on-hit effects for the duration. The leap's distance is increased based on your movement speed. Some of his strengths are great map presence due to movement speed boost, solid amount of crowd control, fast and healthy clears, he snowballs hard, has fantastic ganks, but gets shut down by hard crowd control, is a bit difficult to play well, and has extremely slow movement speed and attack speed by default. Gameplay overview. Warwick starts off fairly similar to how he did before the rework. He has a nice, slow and steady but healthy jungle clear. Although a level 3 gank is certainly possible and definitely encouraged. To go about this, just pop both the W active, activate Ghost, and then just go to town ripping the enemy apart with the Q and red buffed auto attacks. And if that didn't kill them already, use the Fear from E to allow your laner to catch up and finish off the kill. Or just take it for yourself. While getting a kill on an early gank is a pretty sure thing, it's not required to make Warwick work. Simply making it to level 6, and by extension leveling the ult, is by far enough to take control of the match. Just like Rengar, look to gank as many times as possible with the ganking combo plus ult, even if you're not building or doing any damage. Just being able to lock up the enemy for several seconds while your teammates get in free attacks is almost always enough for a kill. Going to the late game, Warwick has a choice: stick to assassinating and split pushing, or focus on protecting hypercarries with his various forms of peel. As it stands right now, I think Warwick is much better as an extremely mobile lethal threat, but falling into a more utility role is also fine. Item build. Starting out by a machete and a rejuvenation bead. The great thing about rejuvenation bead is that it not only fills the gap left by not taking potions, but also builds into our most important item, the Tiamat. Tiamat is incredibly important because it considerably speeds up our jungle clears. Also, it procs off both your Q and R. Your early game build should be a non-enchanted jungle item, Tiamat, boots, and of course, a control ward. Towards the mid game is where builds start to deviate. Personally, I like going down a more Master Yi Yasuo style play, which is high movement speed, high attack speed, and high crit chance. I feel that these attributes are best for carrying and suit Warwick's kit quite well. So, to achieve my style build, get Phantom Dancer, boots to swiftness, and then choose either between getting more damage and Static Shiv, or just get tanky with Dead Man's Plate, Spirit Visage, or Iceborne Gauntlet. Finally, finish upgrading Tiamat into Titanic Hydra and your juggle item into either Blood Razor or Warriors. Tips and tricks. Q, Jaws of the Beast. Don't think of Jaws of the Beast, your Q, as a gap closer. It can be, sure, but really, due to its extremely short range, it's just an auto attack reset that happens to heal you quite a lot, and a slight repositional tool. Make sure you activate Blood Hunt, your W, before you gank. You get the move speed regardless of their health percentage. It's almost like a free ghost. While the damage reduction on your primal Howl E is nice in a pinch, like getting ulted by something big, focus more on using E to get the fears off. Keep in mind the dash on Infinite Duress, your R and ultimate, is not only unstoppable, but the range is increased based on your movement speed. In other words, having Ghost plus Blood Hunt means you're going to be flying across the map, although it can be a bit hard to hit sometimes. Also, aside from the rather obvious hold your ult until your team can capitalize on it, save the ult from when you need the HP and you need a dash. Don't just use it at the start of a fight unless it's a very key initiation on a hyper carry, but usually the enemy team is going to be body blocking with their tanks. Try to farm as much as possible in the early game. Warwick is extremely item dependent, but on the plus side, once you start rolling, it's hard to stop you. Long-term and competitive viability. I believe Warwick is going to be not only a highly contested, but also an often banned pick in both solo queue and competitive play. Warwick is just the whole damn package. He has everything you could possibly want in a jungler. His kit is outright overloaded, being able to put out and soak up loads of damage while also bringing crowd control, significant map presence, mobility, and vision is an absolute nightmare to deal with. This is like Rek'Sai 2.0. However, I unfortunately also believe he'll eventually get the Rek'Sai treatment, which is to say his damage is going to get nerfed into the ground until he's essentially just a utility bot. So try to enjoy him while you can, because he's about to not be seen at all, whether that be due to nerfs or bans. Heroes always die. This crazy chimera experiment gone wrong went exactly right for those looking to dominate a match with every possible tool at their disposal. Sure, he can be a bit difficult to play, what with the skill shot ult, and it has a wonky hitbox, and a fear that must be carefully positioned, but it's all worth it to single-handedly carry games. Warwick is absolutely ridiculous, and I cannot wait to see him tearing up high elo and professional play. I have been Keen Agree with MMOHuts.com, where you can find all the latest news, reviews, and everything else on your favorite multiplayer games, and thank you for watching.